Hi, it's Avalon here, and I'm making a little show and tell video about how I organise my brain. Okay, most of it is actually in this little black book, which you can download. Where is it? There we go. What? It's on my website, blossomingwoman.com.au/little black book. So if you grab that, that's got everything about how I organise my life, homeschooling 5 kids, working from home, and people ask me a lot how that happens. So I put it all together in the little black book. So today I'm going to show you some practical tools that I actually use in daily life to organise my brain. Because if your brain is not organised and having some kind of flow happening, you're just going to be quite ineffective at life, okay? So it's time for us kind-hearted people to get up there and start doing stuff in the world that needs to happen. So the first essential tool I have is a big sketchbook. So this is a place to do all my brainstorming and visioning and sketching and stuff like that. Brain dumps, any kind of stuff where it's just, I just want to go blah all over the page. Sometimes I use colour pencils, sometimes it's just pen. So that's the first step for me to get my brain organised. Just get it out on the paper first. Now I also have a smaller one of these. This is also a sketchbook with a beautiful cover that I made, and yes, I will be making more as part of my Wild Creatress collection. So this is just a place to refine some of those ideas, and you know, it's actually an easier book to carry around, and it's a place where I can do any drawing, designing, mapping out things like I do my website pages on here and plan that out in this sketchbook. The other essential tool is a journal, just a lined book where I can write and just allow stream of consciousness to flow out onto the page, whether it's in first thing in the morning, do some journaling, or if I feel inspired about something, or if I've been speaking with someone and suddenly I've got some ideas, I just want to just let it go. I find that my thoughts flow so much more freely and smoothly and uninterrupted when I can write with a pen on paper instead of on the computer. And then I can type it up later if I need to. Another thing I use is just a notebook, which I use to just jot down all kind of notes. I have it next to my computer, or I have it next to me if I'm in a session with someone. So I can just jot notes down by hand, and it's all kept together here. And again, anything that I need to type up onto the computer, I can type it up onto here. I also put notes in here when I'm listening to something, if I'm doing a course or listening to an inspiring interview or something, and you know, I want to remember some things or write down some inspiring quotes. That all goes on this little just plain lined book. Now this is another step that I have, which is it's kind of a organisation planning guide. So this is where I actually flesh out, you know, I'll take things from my big sketchbook and start to create some order with them here. And here is just some visioning around the way I spend my time. This is actually the modules of a course that I'm designing, which will be part of the Blossoming Woman Sanctuary. It'll be sort of woven in there. So this is just another way to gather my thoughts and get it all sorted out on paper. Now this is the most exciting part of what I really wanted to show you today, and even though it doesn't look anything special from the outside, this is my bullet journal. Now this is something I've only just recently discovered, and you can buy beautiful bullet journals, but this is just a plain book from the newsagent, and I actually found one which has got a bit more of a harder cover and spiral bound, so it's just a bit more hardy compared to the soft exercise books. So I'll show you inside. Well, I've left one page blank so I can do a title page if I ever get around to it. On the next blank page, there's an index. So that's where you can start to, you know, once your book fills up, you can have a quick check to see where everything is in your book. So on the next available double page on the left, you write the month and all the days of the month from 1 to 30 or whatever it is, and write the first letter of each day of the week next to the days. So you've got a bit of a calendar there. And on the right-hand page, you write a task list. Now, this is everything that needs to happen, anything that you can think of, any tasks, any actions, any activities, projects, whatever, put them all here and put a little square next to it. Now, the next step is to write the day's date, and then you write a few things. You check your task list and you think, well, what am I going to write? What am I going to do today? So what tasks do I want to complete? So put them down here with empty boxes, and when you've done them, you can tick them off. And you might miss a day here or there. I don't do this every day. I do it most days, but some days will be days where I just don't do it at all. So it doesn't matter. You just, next day when you want to write some things to do, you write your task list and your squares. Now, if it's an event, you can write it as a circle, and you can transfer events onto the specific day on the calendar that they're happening on. And another thing you can do is if you've got a whole series of tasks that are related to one thing, you can create a collection. So this is actually a bit messy looking, but this is what I needed to do to complete writing my little black book. So it was all the things I needed to do, the resources, the links, the different things that I needed to edit and update, and that as I was going through it. This is all on this page. So this one page was basically the map to help me finish and finalize that little black book. Now, when you come to a new month, you can write down the month and go back and have a look what has been checked off. Because as you go, you tick things off and also tick them off the main list. And what I do is when I move something from this main list onto a day, I put a little arrow, which is saying, this has been moved, and then it's got a fresh box here. So when you check that, anything that hasn't been done, you write a new task list. So where are we going to the next month? You write a new task list, which is all the things that still need to be done in your life. And then, you just keep going. Each day, put a few things. Each day, put a few things. Now, it's really important that you can break your tasks down into little mini tasks and baby steps. And that's what I talk about in the Little Black Book. And the great thing about this is it's all on paper. Because it's graph paper, it's all quite compact. So it's really easy to look back on your month or the last couple of months. It's not a screen. It doesn't run out of batteries. It's easy on the eyes. It's very relaxing. You can just pull it out without needing to get on your phone or your computer. That's what I love about it. Another tool I use is a day to a page diary. So in the morning when I sit with my bullet journal and I enjoy that time, it's just 5 or 10 minutes where I can just sit and ground and think about what's important for today. And then I'll transfer the day's tasks into the actual day of my diary, along with any Skype names or phone numbers or anything that I need to remember, especially if I've got sessions booked with people. So that then becomes my map for the day. So that's just another step, but you don't need to. Like, even if you only just use the bullet journal, that could be enough to guide you. I also have a little moon diary, gorgeous little moon diary, which has all the moon cycles and phases and seasonal celebrations in there. And it's small enough to carry around in my bag. Now, there is one more little book that I have, and this one is similar to it is a bullet journal. It's just got dots. It hasn't got lines. And this one is, hang on, where are we? This one is specially just for my website building. So on this one, I write like what size in pixels all the pictures are that I use for the different web pages. I put in here the color codes for the colors I'm using. And the advantage of having this all in here is that it's all on paper. So if I'm in the middle of building a website, I don't need to shut the window and open another window and try and find a document somewhere with it on it. Because it's on paper, it's much easier to refer to and much easier to add things to and change things around. So I really love using paper for some things, and I'm very techie too. You know, I use a lot of technology, which is all in the Little Black Book. So that's a little bit about how my brain works. Maybe you might feel inspired to use one or two of those tools. That's the whole selection. That's everything that I use to do everything, run all my courses, do everything, get all my, brain out on paper and get it happening. I highly recommend figuring out some sort of system that works for you so that you've got no more excuses. You can just do what you need to do, get clear, get focused, and get on with it, because that's what we need to do right now. And if you haven't seen my Little Black Book yet, grab it from my website. Remember, it's blossomingwoman.com.au/Little Black Book, all one word. And you can grab that now, have a look, and get yourself a graph book so that you can start making your own bullet journal.